just had to like upload as is.
Just upload as is. Okay. Yeah. So what's your favorite beer, Jason?
The cheap stuff.
Cheap stuff.
I don't know. Good old American lager.
Good old American Pilsner, man. Give me a Pilsner. I want my hops, though. Give me an IPA.
I want my high life.
Hey, the champagne of beer. The champagne of beer, man. The high life. So, ain't nothing like the high life.
As a Chelsea fan, we don't live the high life very much anymore.
No, we do not. So, I guess, I don't know. I mean, with that, I guess we can get started with the podcast now. I mean, I don't know. Sure.
Roll it.
Roll it. What's up, guys and gals? All you listeners out there, welcome to another episode of the Red, White, and the Blues podcast. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. The season is over. The soccer gods have smiled on us, and this suffering has come to an end. So I'm Daniel, and I'm joined, as always, by my neighbor, Chacha Nacha, over on that side. Jason, how you doing right now?
It's the wrong way. It's this way. I'm good, man. We need to work on our cold opens a little, but other than that, praise soccer Jesus.
AKA Drogba.
Dude. Yes. He is not allowed to be sacrificed ever.
No, never. We sacrifice to him.
Yes.
To the Drogba God.
Yeah. He's immortal. He lives forever.
Yes, that is correct.
Without dying first, or however this metaphor goes.
He just goes. He just doesn't ever stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we end the season on a high note. Albeit we tried not to. For much of the second half.
Dude.
But,
oh my God. We did everything we could to lose that.
We tried.
Or end in a draw. We did everything we could.
We tried so hard to draw that last match. But we didn't. And we somehow won 2-1. I don't really know how. But we did. Thanks. I mean, I guess we just talk about Caceido's Golazo to start off the show. What a goal. What an amazing goal.
Wow.
I struggle with this because the reason I struggle with it is an amazing goal. Yes, I don't want to take anything away from Caceido. But it's extremely lucky to score from 50-plus yards out like that. And if he doesn't score that, we draw the game 1-1.
Right. Hey, we talked about our players taking their chances all year. And Caceido finally scored a goal. After all season of not scoring,
yep.
Caceido finally... I'm just kidding.
He did. He finally did it.
I love that he's the one who scored it, though.
Yeah, I am too.
But he took his chance, and we scored. God.
I mean, it was a great goal. That's like I said. I don't want to take anything away from him. But it's just the mere fact that, like, if he doesn't score from 50-plus yards out, we draw the game 1-1.
Look, can I go... This has nothing to do with the goal. I mean, it does in a way.
Well, me.
But the way that I start the rant won't. But I'm going to go on a mini VAR rant.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Because...
Another VAR rant.
Yeah. Okay, because it's cheapened the game so much that we don't know how to celebrate. Like, we don't even know what to do. So that goal goes in, right? Like, it's an amazing goal. I am like, I'm not going to recreate the sound. I thought about it. I made in like a sound that doesn't need to be recreated, but I was ecstatic about the goal.
Yes.
The sound was from ecstasy over the goal. Anyway,
it was an orgasmic.
My wife is yeah. I was orgasming. Like, as the ball is flying through the air. Hits the back of the net.
Oh, man.
It happens. Well, anyway, my wife ignored all that and then just looked at me while we were watching, and she said, "Does that count?" And I blame VAR for that. I blame
It's all
VAR.
VAR's fault. It's all VAR's
She
fault.
didn't even know how to celebrate that. She just wondered if we were actually going to get a point. Probably my favorite moment of the season.
That's a great moment. That is a great moment. Does it count? No.
Does it? No. Does that count?
Oh man. Oh, jeez. Yes, that is a great VAR story. I thought we were about to go on a rant about the fact that we didn't get a penalty called for us that was a clear-cut penalty, and don't know how that wasn't.
There's a clear-cut red card.
Yep, clear-cut red card. I don't remember when
that happened.
Not given. Yeah, dude.
We don't have to talk about that. I was using that as a way to say,
yeah,
who even knows how to do this stuff anymore?
Yeah, nobody knows how to do it anymore. Nobody, because it's just ridiculous at this point. And especially when who was the ref? Was it Tyranny? Was the ref? Was that? No, it was the asshole. Who's the asshole ref?
Oh, the cunt, Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, Anthony Taylor. Yeah, it was Anthony Taylor reffing. So you knew it was already going to be shenanigans to begin with. So
man, it was a game that we went to last year. One of the games we went to last year. I think it was the Liverpool game.
It was a Liverpool
Taylor
game.
Was the ref.
Yeah, it was.
And Kristen was like, "Oh, it's that guy," and I was like, "Yeah, he's a cunt."
Even your wife knows. Even your wife knows who he is.
She's like, "Oh man, it's that guy."
That bald-headed bastard's out there.
The reason I'm calling him that is because there's a very famous "Taylor is a cunt" chant.
As well, there should be.
That Matthew Harding stand sings. So
actually, I don't think that is bad enough. I don't know. They should come up with a word that describes Anthony Taylor that is like worse than cunt. I don't know what it is, but call it. That's what he should be.
We'll just say the word is apt. It is an apt description of Anthony Taylor.
It is a very apt description of Anthony Taylor. There's not a better word in the dictionary to describe Anthony Taylor than that.
I don't know anything about Anthony Taylor. Maybe he's a good guy in real life, but man, on that pitch, he's a cunt.
He is.
He's the worst.
Straight up cunt. He is the worst, man. I don't even know, man. Oh, what was that? Oh, no. He'd be.
We can't put ads on this, man.
No ads on this one. What was it? Our friend Nick used to say. What do you call people like cunt boogers or something like that?
Oh God. I don't know.
Just the word he used to say.
Text him and ask him.
Oh man, I will. I'll text him and see if I get an answer before the episode's over with.
He might not want to answer that.
He might not. I mean, he is in a profession of faith now, so he's got a couple of kids running around.
Yeah. I don't know if he would approve of me praying to soccer Jesus. And making sacrifices to him.
Making sacrifices to drop.
I worship Drogba. What can I say?
Yeah. Hey, I got my shrine in my closet in here. You know, it's got a little Drogba bobblehead on it. I got a couple of locks of his hair I bought off of eBay. Got his jersey.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, some Eye of Newt over there in the corner as well that you use for.
What is it? The milk of the puppy. I got some of that too.
What?
That's a Game of Thrones reference. I forgot you don't watch Game of Thrones.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones. Yeah.
It's a milk of the puppy. It's like what they use for like it was like their medicine for everything back in the day. It's like he's going blind. Give him milk of the puppy.
Yeah, I missed the Game of Thrones phase, but that alone is making me. I'm about to jump into Game of Thrones just for the milk of the puppy.
Just have you ever watched the first episode? Because you might not want to watch the episode after the first one. The first episode's nuts, man. Okay. Craziest first episode of a show ever.
Okay. I gotta stay until milk of the puppy.
Yeah, there's probably a reference to it in the first. It's a very common reference in the show, but the first episode's crazy. But the first season of Game of Thrones is a fantastic season of television. So.
Oh, dude, it's milk of the poppy.
Oh, I say puppy because it sounds funny. Milk of the poppy. Yeah, because it's the poppy seed. So it's the milk of the poppy, but puppy sounds funnier.
My
Milk
search
with the
history
poppy.
is ruined.
This is what happens when you go on a little sleep and you've been to a concert and been drinking too much over the last 2 nights. I'm down bad right now. So, whatever. My voice is raspy. Whatever. I don't even care. It is what it is. It's already been a great episode. So yeah. Cole Palmer was player of the match. I believe that's correct.
Wait, was
I think he got
was
one.
Caceido not?
I think it depends on who you ask. Like,
okay.
I don't know. One of them was officially the player of the match. I don't know.
Oh,
Dude,
I see. Okay.
It's all a blur. It's all a blur.
It's
man.
all a blur.
It's all a blur. I was watching in my hotel room, so and then I went and ate some brunch after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know. What else you want to talk about with the game?
I don't know, man. Sky Sports has him listed. Caceido listed.
Okay, he was probably the official player.
I don't know, man. It's nice that it was the last game of the season.
Yeah, it's over.
We had European competition to play for. Tottenham did not shit the bed. I don't know. I feel like everything kind of played out the way it was expected to. I mean, there was literally no way like Luton wasn't going to get relegated.
There was like had to score like 13 goals or something like that.
Or like score 6 and Nottingham Forest lose by 6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way that was going to happen. So, I mean, last week, pretty much, I mean, looking hindsight, pretty much solidified all the storylines. Yeah. So, like, nothing, I think I said to you, like, pretty boring day. I think I meant just like it was a pretty, like,
everything played out the way it was supposed to, like you just said. Yeah. There was no, like, twists or turns. It wasn't like City blew the league and we had to listen to Arsenal fans for the next year.
Oh, thank Jesus. Soccer Jesus. Like,
thank Soccer Jesus that Arsenal did not win the league.
Like, I mean, seriously, though. Oh, Drogba. Like, if you call him Drog, right?
Yeah.
It's Grod. I don't know. Okay. Thank Grod. So anyway, so I don't know. I mean, we did what we needed to do. Like, we really tried to bottle it. I mean, the refereeing is insane.
It's terrible.
Like, stoppage time was insane. Like, it was 7 minutes in the second half. I can't remember what it was in the first half because I didn't get to watch most of the first half. So it was
like 4, I think, in the first half or something like that. It wasn't too bad, but the second half was awful.
Games like these, though, we've kind of said it all season. I feel like we just fell upwards. Like, like it's like Caceido probably does the goal of the season here. And then we just kind of did what we need to do. Raheem Sterling takes us up 2-0, and then like right after they scored to get one back. So our storyline, our personal in-club storyline of not finishing with a clean sheet still continues.
Yep. That was our worst season. We've given up the most goals ever in the Premier League. We set the record for most yellow cards in a season by a Premier League team this year. So yeah, we set some records that we didn't really want to set this year, but
I mean, and we'll talk about this in the next episode because I think we're going to kind of review the season. But like, I mean, I think definitely like I can't believe the run of games we had after the Arsenal match. Yeah. And so we ended the season on a high note. I think that things do come with caveats, which we can get into later. But like we just don't dominate many games anymore. And there weren't too many games this season where we just like truly dominated. I mean, like we had trouble breaking down 10-man teams.
We couldn't break down 10-man
like we drew teams. A 10-man Burnley.
Yeah.
Without
their coach. Their coach. It gets even worse. Without their coach.
I mean, like those are the types of things that like take this from being a like a top 6 season to we're in Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, we can talk more about that. But I mean, we ended the season on a high. I mean, we ended the season 5 wins in a row.
Yeah.
And then a draw before that after probably one of our most devastating losses to a rival.
I mean,
or at least in a derby. So I can't believe we came to this spot. I was rooting for the 5 ending the season 5 wins. Our form looks really good on paper compared to everybody else's, but yeah, man, what is there to say? I mean,
we talked about it before this episode started. You made the point that it was like we sort of just like it took everything happening with teams above us to get to where we were, to finishing 6th place at the end of the season. Like it took, Newcastle capitulating, almost called Tottenham because they capitulated, Villa capitulated. Like it's just all these things happened. United capitulated. Like everybody in front of us just sucked, and we just won.
Yeah.
So it was sort of just one of those. We just got in by the skin of our teeth, and we made it, and that's what it is. Sometimes it's football. So you don't always deserve it. I think we're the 6th best team in the Premier League. Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
our XG says we should be way higher.
Hey, after Christmas says we should be 4th. So
yeah. I don't really know what the XG says now.
I don't either.
The narrative there was for a little while, but I don't think
it was. Yeah, it was. But I mean, when you give up a record number of goals,
right,
then that sort of does that. But yeah, I guess we can. Thiago Silva, last match at the Bridge,
farewell.
Gave his farewell speech. I swear I didn't cry. Didn't change.
I haven't watched it. Full disclosure, I haven't watched it because I was going to be emotional and I didn't want to be. So
best line of it was at the end. He goes, "I want to send my 2 kids back to play for Chelsea."
Yeah,
I'm like, bring them on, Thiago. Bring them on.
Yeah.
So that was cool. This doesn't have anything to do with the match, but shout out Chelsea women for winning the league.
I was going to say that in the match or the season review, but yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that was a decisive win over Man U.
Yep, it was. They freaking battered them, hoisted the trophy in their own stadium, in Man U Stadium. So that is.
I wish Emma Hayes could have got a Champions League though.
That's it. I did tweet out the other day. I said Emma Hayes is the GOAT. I said the only trophy she lacks is the Champions League trophy, but I have no doubt she's going to go win the World Cup with the United States and then come back and win Chelsea a Champions League trophy. She's just one of those people that is going to come back to Chelsea. I just feel like I don't know why. I just feel like she is. So yeah, Fran Kirby scored a goal in her last match for Chelsea. So let them last this week.
Yeah. Emma Hayes won 14 major trophies during her 12 years.
And how many is that in a row now? Is that 4? 5 in a row?
Oh, I don't know.
It's 4 or 5 in a row. I
have
to go which. So suck on that, Pep.
Oh, 5.
5, yeah. Suck on that, Pep.
Yeah, that was one of the largest margins of defeat, or the largest margin of defeat. We beat United 6-0 to win the Super League. So yeah, it's pretty legit.
Shout out to them. Shout out Cole Palmer for winning Young Player of the Year award. I'm just taking all your thunder from the.
What was he also like the Players Player of the Year award or something?
I don't
know.
The
Players Player of the
Year
as well.
Yeah, for Chelsea.
Chelsea Player of the Year.
He was the Chelsea Player of the Year. I know that.
Yeah.
He should have won the freaking. How Foden beat him out for freaking Premier League Player of the Year. I still don't understand. That just boggles my mind.
Oh yeah, Foden won the EA Sports Player of the Season award.
Just doesn't. I don't. It doesn't comprehend. Like, did Foden have a good season? Yes, but Palmer had a much better season. Like, City is still going to be City without Foden.
Yeah. I think I know this is like weird, but people care about these things. Cole Palmer gained the most fantasy points this season, so
See?
that's good. And he has scored more than Hazard did
Yeah.
combined.
Yep. He's
Goals and
broken his.
assists.
Yep.
So I
So,
mean, what a season!
what a season! What a season! What a season! Yeah. I guess we'll save the rest of. I mean, do we want to go ahead since we're only 20 minutes into the episode and there's not a lot left to talk about with the match? Do we just want to go ahead and tack the Poch talk on to the end of this episode? Or save it for the season review?
I still feel like we're going to get into it on the end of the season.
We probably will. We'll just save it for that.
So,
review. Teaser, guys. We're going to do an end of the season. And there's a good chance, guys. We're recording the end of the season thing on a Monday, and it's probably going to come out like on a Wednesday or Thursday. So there's a good chance Poch may or may not be in Chelsea by the time it comes out. So
yeah,
maybe we should put it on this episode. Let's put it on this episode just in case something happens with Poch, Jason. Let's do that way. So, all right. So there's been news that has broken today, and Jason and me discussed this before the podcast, and we've talked about it ad nauseum on this podcast for the last month, probably. Every episode has some kind of let's discuss Poch segment on it, for lack of a better word. But I mean, stuff has come out today, throughout the night, which is, that, he wasn't included in thank yous in any of the match day programs. He's apparently talked to Bowley, hasn't talked to Bali or the board. That apparently there's now been miscommunication between the board and Poch, for lack of a better word, because the board wants somebody that doesn't necessarily, just has input, has suggestions, I guess, for a lack of a better word, into signings, but doesn't want to force anybody because the club has a structure, that they want that they're using, or whatever the hell we're doing nowadays. And I'm like, y'all interviewed Poch for 2 months. Like,
yeah.
And then y'all hired him. This was clearly made known to him then, correct? Like, it had to have been. And, like, we know that's why they didn't hire Nagelsmann. Like, that's come out that they didn't hire Nagelsmann because he wanted too much control and they didn't want to give him control. So, and now Poch wants experienced players and you don't want experienced players. I think a big part of it, too, is that the board wants to sell Chalobah and Gallagher, and Poch doesn't want them to sell either one of those players. So you're pissing your manager off when you're selling players that he wants, but all they see is dollar signs because it's pure profit bullshit. So I don't know. I mean, I can see this going either way. I mean, it's weird because like last week I was like, there's no way they're going to fire him. And now this week I'm more almost like, I can totally see him firing him now.
Yeah. Well, and we speculated maybe the last pod or the pod or two before or whatever.
Yeah.
That the board was saying Europa League because they thought he might not get it.
Right.
And
which he still might not, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. So anyway, I don't know, man. I'm of two minds, right? Because I think the board is absolutely incompetent.
Yes, 100%.
And I don't really think they know how to run a football club.
No clue.
And I don't care what kind of letter they put in the program, and I don't care. Bowley comes out and says we're finally starting to play the beautiful football or whatever shit he wants to say. Like I don't care if they say they're fully committed to the club, like whatever. Like all of that is just they look bad on a consistent level, and I think they try to save face all the time, and then they use certain journalists to do that as well and to push agendas.
The propaganda machine, man.
Yeah. And so I don't trust the board at all.
Mm-mm.
And then on the other side of the coin, I do not think Poch is a long-term solution to our managerial situation.
Correct.
I am now like I'm still Poch out, knowing that the board would be really dumb to sack him at this point because I do think fan sentiment has shifted towards Poch, especially after ending the season the way that he did. And I think most of the fan base, at least from what I was looking at on Reddit, so you tell me how Twitter's feeling about it. But I feel like the sentiment is in Poch's favor more than it isn't, especially after the Arsenal game.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a real coup that Poch has pulled here in putting the team and his reputation and his stature as the manager in that position. So I think like he gets some credit for that. And then, but at the same time, I kind of hope Poch is the manager that makes the managerial position at Chelsea more desirable again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would think after what happened to Tuchel and Potter, and then bringing Lamps in as an interim manager, we were kind of like, I mean, we were still, I guess, attached to some big names, but then the board kind of ran off the guy that they probably should have done. We probably shouldn't have fired Tuchel in the first place, and they ran off Nagelsmann in the hiring process, trying to right that wrong after we tried to take Brighton's entire team and win a championship with them. So I think it all comes back to what you always say. This consortium wants money.
Mm-hmm.
The American owners want to milk the club for money. They don't understand the fan base. They don't understand keeping loyalty from the fan base, and they don't understand that actually getting into the Champions League gets you money. And if they're going to be real boneheaded and stubborn and continue to try to find managers that are essentially nothing more than a figurehead,
just yes men,
and they're going to ask those managers to perform miracles in their name based on what they chose for the manager, I think we're screwed.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
And I think Poch, there is an argument to be made that he came into. Now, granted, he chose it, so I'll put that out there. Like, he did come into a situation. It's not like the situation just happened to him, though. Like, you can argue that some of the injuries were unfortunate this season. Like, we thought Nkunku was going to be, and Nkunku has shown over the last several games that
he makes a difference.
That kid can ball.
Yeah,
but like,
kid can ball. I like that.
Yeah, a little basketball reference, whatever. But and so that is unfortunate because we were making predictions for where Chelsea would finish based on Nkunku being in the squad. And holy crap, did Chelsea still finish there? Now, to your point, we got lucky, but we took advantage of we fell upwards and got lucky in the process. So anyway, that was a lot, but I would say I don't trust the board. I think that they would be really, I think they would be making a mistake on their end. To not keep Poch for next season. I think they're going to come out looking really dumb and foolish if they don't.
They are.
And at the same time, I still don't think Poch is our long-term solution, but he overachieved this season in a lot of ways, and effed us over in others. So,
yeah, it's weird because it's like I don't trust the board to hire somebody, especially with this whole new statement coming out today. They want to hire somebody young. Like the new up and coming name is the what is it? The IP switch dude, whatever.
Oh yeah, I heard.
Yeah,
I heard
that kid, that guy. They want him possibly. So I think that's the crazy thing is you don't hear De Zerbi or Amarin anymore really mentioned. It's always they want some young guy now. So it's just McKenna. Like they want. It's crazy. So I don't know. Like I just feel like if you bring in a new manager, it'd be your third appointed manager you're going into your third year. Like y'all are the one talking about stability and longevity, and Poch clearly hasn't lost the dressing room. Like the problem is clearly hear the board. It's not Poch, it's not the players, it's the board in this situation. I feel like they're going to realize after a while that what they're trying to do, like the model they're trying to set up with just give a manager players, isn't I guess in their eyes for what they want to do, make money, it is a good strategy. To actually win trophies is not a good strategy. And to continually build young is not a long strategy, a long-term, plan. So I don't know. I just think our board's morons is honestly what it comes down to. I think our sporting directors are morons. So, I mean, Joe Shields, I guess I like him. Apparently, he's a good scout. So, other than that, I just think it would be a mistake. He hasn't lost locker room. That's my biggest argument. He hasn't lost locker room. So,
yeah,
players you're only going to piss off the players if you do this.
I think the players like him.
They do.
That seems to be the sentiment. Like the players actually like Poch a lot. So
yeah. So if you fire him, you're going to piss them off. So especially like you're going to piss off your superstars, and you're going to piss off Palmer. You're going to piss off Enzo. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to cause more dysfunction within your club when it's not needed? Because you did finish sixth with the outside shot of making Europa League now, all hinging on City. So
yeah, man, it's weird. It's weird to say this because we have been Poch out for a while on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to say that the board is mistreating him because I think that he has given them what they said they wanted. And in that context, they're mistreating him. Like to not even like kind of offer him like a full meeting, like to tell him whether you're safe or not after the season when he is like achieved what they wanted him to achieve essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it speaks to the board. It speaks to how crappy the board is.
They don't know how to run a club.
Well, yeah, and what they should be thinking about is like long-term systematic building of the club right now. Like I don't think you have to go dip your toes into the transfer market, or I don't think you have to dip your whole foot into the transfer market. Like if you actually gave Poch one or two experienced players that he's asking for, like we have a pretty good thing going right now with a lot of momentum going into next season, with a lot of players saying themselves that they see improvement, they're happy with the way things are, they're happy with improvement. And this all speaks to what you're saying, like about them just giving a coach players. Like this wouldn't be giving a coach players. This would be bring Pochettino into the decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Let him build something up. Like this is how from the board they should be thinking. Like, do I want to do this with Poch? No. But I think Poch was brought in specifically to help a young team grow into a team. Like a young band of kids that got brought together like in Hook. And they needed a Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Rufio voices one of the main characters. But anyway,
Rufio.
But yeah, that's what I kind of like. A bunch of like a bunch of misfits, young kids that had raw talent got brought in, and you asked this guy to mold them into a team, and I think we can't say that didn't happen. Because you can see individual player progression, and we got really lucky with Palmer, and
that's a big thing. We got really lucky with that.
Yeah, and you add all of that together, and like we have a lot of momentum going into the next season. Like you take that momentum, and you need to build it in a systematic way, and then in the next 3 or 4 years, you're where Arsenal is. Which is where everybody keeps saying, every time a coach comes in here, they want to well, Mikel Arteta, like, that's how you get there, though.
Yeah.
You bring in 1 or 2 players a year. You don't disrupt the cohesiveness of the team, and you build it up like that.
Yep.
Like they literally dismantled an entire team and cobbled one together from $1 billion signing of 17-year-olds,
and they're still dismantling it as we
and they're
speak.
still
Probably
trying to
this
dismantle
offseason.
everything. Yeah,
3 more
so,
common players are going to be gone this offseason.
Yeah, like for pure profit.
Pure profit. But if you just don't buy all these players, like that's the thing. Is like they put the price.
We've already talked about this too. Yeah,
$25 million on Chalobah is like officially what they're asking for Chalobah, which is just mind numbing. When you spent double that on DCC and Badiashile, like together, like why would you not just not buy them and keep Chalobah, or buy one of them and keep Chalobah? You didn't need both of them. You just needed one of them. So why are you buying both of them? And then they bought another young center back too that hasn't even. I think he's on loan somewhere. I don't remember who that was. I remember him playing the preseason. We bought like 15 goalkeepers. We bought one striker who is Nico's turned out to be a great buy, and Gusto's turned out to be a great buy at right back.
Yeah.
Cucurella was terrible buy, but he's actually paying off now. He's better than Chilwell.
We kind of had to put him. We kind of had to go back to the inverted left back thing that Poch was trying to do. So I don't think it's sustainable all season. But
I don't know. I think here's my opinion.
Entire season.
This is what I think happened, Jason. This is what I think happened. I think Poch lost 5-0 to Arsenal, and he started hearing rumblings that he wasn't going to come back next year, and he just said like, "F it." Like, I'm going to do whatever the heck I want to do. I'm just going to do something crazy. I'm going to invert the left back and start being all willy-nilly with stuff and just go with it. And it just started working. Yeah. Like, he might have just dumb lucked himself into doing it. And, like, because that's around the time he started saying crazy crap, too. Like, I asked for experienced players. I didn't get them. Like, he literally just stopped giving a crap after that point.
Right.
So I really think he saw the writing on the wall after the Arsenal match.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't going to come back next year. And he literally just stopped giving a crap and just started doing what he wanted to do. So it also makes me think, how much influence was he having? I don't want to say from a tactical standpoint, but when you see a guy play a certain way in the preseason, and then he stops playing a certain way in the season, and then he picks it back up at the end of the season, I don't know. It's weird. But
it is weird.
How much outside influence is Poch having at this point in time? Like, I don't know. Like, from other people at the club. Because this is these are some meddlers now we have here. Yeah. They're just not going to let a coach manage. They're not going to just let him do his thing. They're going to want to micromanage everything. And we all know, because we've all had bosses, Jason, you and me both. We've talked about it. We've had those micromanager assholes. And they are absolutely the worst. So maybe that's what it was, that Poch was just being micromanaged. And eventually we lost to Arsenal 5-0, and he said, F you guys, I'm doing whatever the hell I want to. Because you're not going to fire me before the end of the season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird Chelsea conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Well, if I was Poch right now, like, I would tell the board, like, just to F off.
Yeah.
I would leave. And he would leave on a high note.
He would. Like, but if he does get fired, he at least gets paid. So,
right, but like,
he's just walk in there and be like, "Look, I don't care what y'all do to me. Screw you guys. Fire me if you want to fire me. If not, I'm staying and I'm gonna win." And I mean, not that I think he's gonna win, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the weird thing.
It's just a no-brainer to me to, like, from the board standpoint, to keep him.
It is.
You keep all of the goodwill that he's built up over the last 6 games. Yeah. People keep saying the last 5, but I mean, to draw Villa 2-2 after the Arsenal game is pretty big to me.
It's a bounce back. It's a big bounce back after getting beaten the way we did. Good point.
And that sets up the next 5.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he literally, like, took our worst loss and turned it into all this goodwill at the end of the season. Yeah. And we can bitch and moan about where we could be. But at the same time, I mean, my base level for the beginning of the season was improvement. And I can't say that, like, table wise, we didn't do that.
Yeah,
and we
points
actually
wise,
have
goals wise.
Yeah.
So, but then I mean, like we had a lot of areas of improvement. We had some areas of disimprovement, like defense, which is, and that's the crazy thing about it. Set pieces, which we do have a set piece coach coming in next season, Jason. So
yeah, but those are some of the crazy things that we just didn't do this season.
Right.
Like that could have helped
change the trajectory of the season. Yeah, you're right. You're exactly like.
So
why
those
do you
are the
not have
boneheaded
that
things
in
that don't
place
happen
at the beginning? Like, why is that not there at the beginning of the season?
Why do we not have a designated penalty kicker?
Right. It's
like, yeah, it's an argument counter argument thing the entire season, but I still think Poch should tell the board to F right off.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And go off into the sunset. He'll find another, like, based off of this, he'll get another job. He'll still get paid. He'll just get paid at another club. Like, like, it just, I'm all for making the board look bad at this point. Like, they already do. They do it to themselves.
They do.
If I was Poch, there's no denying he still ends on a high.
Yeah.
Tell him to F off and ride into the sunset to your next coaching gig, dude.
Look, he just needs to go in there, slap his dick right on the table. And just be like, I'm here, bitches, and either y'all want me or y'all don't. And I don't know. Somebody brought up a good point on Twitter. I just read.
Yeah.
They brought up a good point. It's like, they said, it's almost like the board's leaking these names. And they're so absurd that they're trying to get us to unite behind Poch. And the guy was like, it's working. He's like, I hate Poch, but it's working. I'm starting to like him now. And I feel like that's exactly what might be what's happening. Like, we're all getting did in by the board. They're really playing, like, 4D chess on us right now. And they're getting us all to unite and support Poch. Hell, that's exactly what's happening on this damn podcast, Jason, I swear. We're supporting Poch.
That's the thing, though. Like, if Poch had said some of the things he said in the last 5 games, I mean, you're right. Like, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory to think, he just kind of started. He's been singing a different tune since that Arsenal game.
He has been.
And if he had done that from the beginning and stopped paying all this homage and tribute and respect to Tottenham while he was our coach, which is also just a fundamental misunderstanding. Like, and it shouldn't have been, because you're literally the coach of the rival.
Yeah, it's just baffling, man.
That's wild to me. Like, his press conferences are insane, but I don't know, man. I kind of liked that. I'm not just going to come in here and start kissing the badge as soon as I come in here thing. And I thought that the reasoning was okay. I mean, at least respect the badge though when you first get in here. You don't have to kiss it. Just like, don't start.
Yeah.
Sucking off another badge
while
you're with our badge.
Yeah, don't suck off another badge while you're wearing our badge. Like, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah, you're a freaking adulterer.
That's right. But to your point, though, it was interesting that they would not let Poch and his staff go around and clap the fans after the match.
Why?
I don't know. They said, because it originally came out that Poch didn't go around and, like, take a lap around the pitch to, like, clap the fans and everything, like everybody does after the last match, with it being a home match and everything like that. That they're like, Poch and his staff just went straight down the tunnel, and everybody was like, well, that's, stupid, F Poch this. Well, it came out later that it was the PR people for Chelsea that called Poch and his staff down the tunnel and told them they had to go to the press conference. So they didn't even let them do that. So was that intentional?
Wow. That is weird.
Yeah, like, was that intentional? Like, why are you not letting the coach go and clap the fans after the match? Was that intentional?
Yeah, that is weird. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, he stayed to watch. Like, the Guardian has it. He stayed to watch the match, or he stayed to watch Silva, and then went straight down the tunnel before the lap of appreciation for the players.
Yeah. And it came out that the PR people were the ones on. So it's just like, it's just a giant, at this point in time, I feel like it's a giant conspiracy against Poch. And so that does make me want to support him more, because it's weird. I back Poch over the board. But I know Poch isn't, but that's the thing. It's like, we're both, I feel like, I know, we are both putting an asterisk by this when we say this, is that Poch is not the long-term fit for this club. Poch will not. He might win us I think he could luck himself into an FA Cup or a shit cup, another title, maybe, but just because of how shit Europa is going to be this year, or the Conference League, he might could luck us into one of those titles,
Yeah.
But is he gonna win us the Premier League? No. Could he get us top 4? Possibly, maybe, because I think Tottenham's going to continue to implode next year under Postecoglou. I think he's an average manager. I think Villa falls off next year with having to play Champions League football. We saw same things will happen in Newcastle. I don't know what they'll do next year. They'll be, Arsenal probably pretty good next year. I think Liverpool takes a step back next year.
Yeah,
it's going to be a City Arsenal race for the title next year probably. United
next year is the year to get into 4. Yeah, sorry.
It is. I agree.
Sorry,
no. Next year is next year is a year to get into 4. It is. Because there's so much uncertainty in front of you. Because Villa, they're going to fall off. They don't have the money to get the depth that they need to compete in competitions. Now, however, with the format change that they're going in Champions League, if they just get knocked out after those first few matches, what do you play? 6, 8? Is it 8 they play now?
Yeah,
8, I think. So if they get knocked out after the first 8, then there's a chance, maybe that they could compete because they're out of that competition. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. It's going to be interesting next year. It's going to be a lot of disparity again, between 3rd and 6th. It's going to be a log jam of what team can string together wins in a row and beat the bottom table teams, which we haven't been able to do for 3 years or 2 years now. So
I think Poch could definitely get us into Champions League. Now,
I think he could
what he does with us after that, if we decide to keep him for a 3rd year, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And the thing is I do feel like we have built, but I think that we're going to screw ourselves this offseason with that. I feel like we built good depth going forward, but I feel like when we sell Chalobah and Gallagher and Maatson this offseason, we're sort of screwing ourselves.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how much depth we're going to have because we still, the thing is, I guess we got, I heard today they were thinking about buying a midfielder.
Oh, that's insane.
Why? We have Ugachukwe, Chuck, Enzo, Caceido, Lavia. Who else? Who am I missing here? Palmer can play in the middle. And Cuckoo can play in the middle. We're overrun. Gallagher's technically still at the club. I don't think he will be here at the club anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you just named him.
Caceido, Santos. 2 more.
Yeah.
What? This club. I swear. All right, let's end this episode. All right, well, first before we end this episode, if you had $1 million right now, what are you betting? Poch in, Poch out. Will he be here at this? Whenever. Will he be here next season, Jason?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
All the chips on the table.
Shoot. I'm gonna say in. But
I'm going opposite just for parity because I don't.
Yeah, I could see it either way. Actually,
I can see it either way too. That's the crazy thing.
If he leaves, I think he leaves.
Really, that's a bold prediction.
But I just can't see. I just can't see him not feeling slighted. That's what I was getting at earlier. If I was him, I'd feel really hard done right now. To not even be able to get a meeting. That's the rumor.
Yeah.
You just can't even get a meeting. Right.
Here's the thing, though, is because Poch is so pro Tottenham, is he going to burn us down from within? And just stay and screw us next year,
dude.
God, I pray that doesn't.
You gotta hand it to him. He didn't do that this season, and he could.
Didn't
easily.
He could have. Yeah. I think he's gone. Just with all the recent stuff, everything with this board just seems. Unless it's this conspiracy theory that, and it's this thing to get us to unite around Poch, which it is 100% working. But if they end up letting him go after all this has happened, it is going to backfire on them massively.
Yeah.
Like, the hatred that is going to come their way is going to be like nothing they've ever seen before. Like, they do not know what British people are like what football fans are like. They have not seen the wrath of what football fans are capable of when you screw with their teams. Like, they don't know.
Like, I just think it's insane. Like, we were literally, like, bemoaning the fact that Poch was going to be our coach next season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even after the Arsenal game, we were just like, well, they're keeping him, probably.
Yeah.
And then it came out that they said Europa.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's literally like, we're on the cusp of Europa, and we have a really good chance to get it.
And they might not even wait to see if he gets it.
And we're in Europe now, and now we're talking about, like, they're just going to off him. Mm-hmm. They're literally going to put cinder blocks on his feet and throw him in the Thames.
They are sopranoing his ass.
These are just a bunch of American idiots that want to be the mafia. That's all this is.
That's all it is. A bunch of people from New Jersey that think they're
I just heard what you said.
It's a bunch of New Jersey people, man. That's got to be where they're from. But yeah. So there's one in, one out, but we could both see it going either way. The good news is that one of us will have an imaginary $2 million when we come back next episode. Or next one before Poch, right? Yeah,
when is the FA Cup? Is it next week? It's next
Sunday.
week sometime.
Or Saturday. I think it's Sunday.
Oh, it's this weekend. Okay, great.
Yes, this weekend. Yeah, so we'll know officially next Monday when we do our episode whether we're gonna do that or not.
That's exciting.
It is.
I'm gonna like be flabbergasted that if we get Europa.
I'm calling it now. United is going to play their best match season, beat City. Just to screw us over.
Man, it happens. It always happens that way.
It always happens. So that's my prediction about what's going to happen. But, whatever. Anyway, we are going to do another episode this week. We're going to record it tonight. So just FYI, when you see us on the YouTube and we're in the same place, that's why. So if something happens with Poch, there will be some type of emergency thing, whether it's me hopping on here and ranting for 10 minutes or Jason and me both coming on here and ranting for an hour, depending on when it happens this week. Because
if it happens on the right day, I'll be here.
Yeah. If it, because there's rumors that it might happen in the morning. That was something I just read on the X. It might happen in the morning.
Hey, if it happens tomorrow, I got some leeway. I can skip work a little bit, so.
Perfect. Then I hope if it happens tomorrow, and we get to do an emergency episode. So
exactly.
We do need to come up with a breaking news graphic.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Something cool. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
We got the whole off season now, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
We also got to work on our schedule next season now that we're going to be in freaking Europe.
Yeah, officially we are in Europe now. So it might be it's either the orange or the green, man. We're either orange or green.
So weird.
Well, I mean, I guess regardless, we're playing on Thursdays. We do know that much.
Oh, great.
Because I think Conference League is on Thursdays too.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
We're on Thursdays, which means now we got to go out and get freaking Paramount Plus again, Jason. Shit.
Oh, I think I have because I have Mint Mobile. Ryan Reynolds. They gave me like a free 6 months.
Well, that's not gonna last us. That'll at least get us through the first half of the year. Wait. Is it from when you activate it, or is it from now?
I think so.
So we just wait and activate it, and then we'll make it through most of the season.
Let me see. Let me look. Just here. We'll know. We'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
My internet's not working. Screw you, internet.
So, Jason, tell these people where they can find us. We've got some special things coming up for you guys this summer, so y'all tune into the X's and the things. But, Jason, tell these people where they can look to find us, to find out what we're going to be doing before we tell them on another episode.
Wow, what an intro.
Okay, my brain.
We're on X. We're on Instagram. We're on Substack. Find us in writing at all three at Red White Blues FC. On those things, there will be more blog posts happening. Daniel does an amazing job with X and
like
Instagram.
a month.
Yeah, but we'll get there. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
And then in all of our glory, visually, we're at the same at Red White Blues FC on the YouTube.
That's
so in I guess traditional YouTube speak, like and subscribe and hit the bell so you always know when things are happening. Extra.
That's right.
There's 2 thumbs up for you right there.
Yep. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast at these days. We're there. And like Jason said, catch us on YouTube. We're trying to get some subscribers up there, so go check out all of our past videos. They're long and crazy. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Until next time. Coming up later this week, we will give you an in-season. We're going to give you our season review episode, and we will also be revealing who won the Blue Rubber Ducky, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Jason. But
I don't know.
We'll see. We have some more predictions we have to go through. But yeah. Anyway, until then, we'll get you guys on the flip side.
God, I really miss my rubber duck, flippity floppity.